Hi, Sel.
Hi, Shine.
Hi,
Good
Shine. Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning. Iniisip ko
Evening.
talaga kung
Evening
anong
to you.
sasabihin. Parang nalito ako doon. Sabi ko, ay, bakit ako? Oo nga. Good evening.
Oo nga, it's been a while na we haven't done a class in the morning here.
Exactly. You're right. Well, thank you for doing this, Maricel. I'm so excited that you actually said yes to doing this. And I'm sure that the participants are going to learn so much. Just a quick background on this class. It's a photography 101 for side hustlers, 'di ba? Parang tayo,
Yes, correct.
'di ba? Kasi hindi lahat may chance to really take a photography class, especially ngayong pandemic, 'di ba? Nawala naman yung face-to-face classes.
Correct.
I've been struggling personally. I've been struggling with taking photos and alam mo yun, just getting the right elements together to have great product shots. Madalas pinapadala ko kay Maricel, tapos siya magpa-product shot, tapos ibabalik niya sa akin dito. So, yung alam yung paikot-ikot.
Yes. Yung mga
Ikot-ikot is
products, umikot-ikot. Umikot-ikot.
oo.
Yeah,
So,
and
naisip namin ni
actually,
Maricel, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, so I was just saying that naisip natin, di ba, like when we were preparing for Fresh Start, that this would actually be a really, really good, paano ba, skill
Yeah, it's
to
a good
have.
compliment.
Yes. If you're in business, di ba? So,
Yeah.
swak to dun sa mga students natin from TCM. So, we've got a few people watching. Say hi, everybody. I know it's a little early, but we figured, we would start early and at least just get everybody the chance to start warming up.
Yeah, to settle
Sorry.
down. Actually, um, with our kasi technology now, guys, really having our phones, our cameras sa phone natin. Uh, yung old school photography classes are, kumbaga, spoiled na tayo ngayon. So it's really just more of implementing some simple principles to your photo taking. So mas madali na kasi umabot pa ako nung time na naka-film ka pa, ang dami mong i-adjust. Ngayon, our phones can actually adjust itself automatically. So, it's really more of maximizing it, composing our photos before taking it, and having that confidence na, okay, this is what I want and this is the look that I want.
Yes.
Oy, guys, put
Yes.
naman
And
yung links on the comments if you can't see.
Oo nga, hindi namin mabasa. Kasi hindi nyo pa talaga
But hello,
ina-allow si
everybody.
Facebook. I'm gonna read ha. Hold on. I'm gonna see the comments. Wait lang. Actually, I love seeing all the...
Gabby is not waking up.
Okay, I'm gonna deal with Kuya Gabby in a little while.
No, let's just sleep over.
Okay. So I love seeing the mga product shots ninyong lahat. But the comments are... Okay. Hold on, sweetheart.
For real?
Hold on, Tita's live. Wait, I can't read the comments. Tita Cosette is here. Tanya. Hi, Tanya. 9 a.m. pa lang present na ako. I love it. And Johan Chu, Ice is here. Hello, everybody. I think that some of them may just be logging on or but
We're a bit
also,
early.
Sal, before we dive in, this class room will be open for how long?
For 15 days. So we
Yes,
just
until
really want,
March 15, no? Tama ba?
so 10 days. So we'll have the classroom open for 10 days because after we have the class, we want you to be able to apply what you learn and show us, what you've done. And
That's
Shine
right.
and I are thinking of giving a prize or, basta alam mo naman si TCM parating may pasabog. Yes, may echo. It's just, yan, kasi Shine is not wearing her earphones, but there, yun nga, we'll have the classroom open so you can rewatch it, but I suggest that get a paper and pen so that you can write down and take notes from our class today. What else? But I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I don't know if Tala is here already. I cannot see, but it's Tala's birthday today. So thanks, Tala, for spending your birthday with us this morning. And for all the ladies who are here, thank you for joining this class. And I really hope that it will help. So yun na nga, I was telling Shine that we're not really going into the technicals. If you really want the technical stuff side of photography, this is not it. So this is really more of just being able to dive in and get your phone camera, your products, and shooting right away. So yun na nga, as a background, um, I've been doing photography, but mostly, hi Tess, good morning. Um, my forte really is portrait photography. So kasi when I started that, hindi pa naman uso yung flat lay or you know, ang product shoots dati is white background, clean, nothing in the, nothing organic, nothing na what we see now mostly on Instagram and product shots. So iba na ngayon as compared to before. During the time that I was studying photography, my line is really portrait. So it's people. But ito, when this started and we had started using our phones, tumaas na yung resolution ng phones, parang, wow, this is so easy and this is so, then, digital cameras came along, hindi ka na mag-iisip masyado. So, that's where my love for this started. So, what you'll see during this class, I'll be showing you some samples of photos of, and those are actually all of the product photos are all mine. So makikita nyo, iba-iba kasi tayo ng style, iba-iba rin yung eye natin for what is attractive and all that. But I think because this group, crafters tayo lahat, we're more on the creative, medyo pare-pareho tayo ng what looks nice to us and what, attracts us sa photos. That's what we really, really want. Yan. Hi, Mitch. So, si Mitch nandiyan na. Tech difficulties. Okay. So, kami rin na siya may tech difficulties. So, guys, please, during the class, if you, I want to have a portion at the end of the class for your questions. So, just write it down and then later, we will read it all and I will try to answer your questions. Wag lang mas, guys, ha. Bagsak ako dyan. Lahat ng questions. So, kung gusto nyo personal, pwede nyo ring tanungin. Pati yun, sasagutin namin ni Shine. But,
Personal. Gusto ko yung personal. Up close and personal.
yeah. Let's go there. Ayan na. Hi, Tala. Good morning. Happy birthday. Thank you for being
Happy birthday,
here.
Tala!
Yan. So I'm really, really so excited for this class because this is something that all of us do almost on a daily basis, especially for us with side hustles. And this is something na, important. So later we will discuss why it's important for us to take better photos. All of us can take photos. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but we have to consider our market, we have to consider our clients, we have to consider what these photos can do for our business. So yan ang mostly what we will be talking about today. I know that some of the things I will be discussing you know already, but it's just nice to, parang fresh start, to refresh, to reset, to be reminded of the things and principles that we might have forgotten along the way. So anyway, do we have all our participants here already na kaya, Shine?
I think
Do you think we can...
Sorry. I think some of them are just logging on, but they'll catch up. No?
all right,
Like what-
let's wait another few minutes.
A few more minutes. Yeah, just like what Maricel said, na parang, it's a quick skill to have. This is something na, 2 years later dun sa pandemic, kung hindi pa tayo nakakapag-jump dun sa, if we haven't gotten on that bandwagon of everything being online, everything happening online, this is our way of giving you that leg up na, ito lang yon, cellphone lang kailangan mo, and all the elements that Maricel will teach, you should be able to take photos as though parang talagang expensive photographer yung ginamit mo or nag-invest ka ng camera kasi yung phone natin is so powerful. So Maricel is gonna do all that. We can actually start already, Maricel. No, I'll give the floor to Maricel. If there are any questions, si Glory Ann will be on the backside reading it for you guys. Okay, Maricel, I'll put you on spotlight already.
Okay. So guys, I'm really, really excited. So most of you who are here naman, I think, pero sige, I'll still introduce myself. I'm Maricel Mendoza of A Sweet Cottage, and I'm the resident crafter behind this brand. So for those of you, and I think most of you were able to attend Fresh Start, I gave you a rundown of my 101 businesses that I started and closed all throughout the past siguro 10 years. And one of them was a photography studio. So from there, so again, guys, I am not a super duper expert in this, but this is something that I really love to do. Uh, Taking photos of people, taking photos of products, and I just wanted to share with you what I have learned along the way and what I'm still learning, and what are the key principles that I stick to every time I take a photo. So, so there. So kung meron kayong questions later on, please do hold on to them and let's discuss it after the class. So there. So let's start. So this class is mobile photography, mobile product photography. So we will be focusing on products because nga, all of us have our handmade products. I know that some of you are into making cards, bags, food. Meron din tayong food. So all of these principles you can apply. So I hope that this will be helpful for you. Okay, so what is the importance of taking better photos? So ito nga yung dinidiscuss natin kanina nila Shine na what's the reason behind? Kasi parang okay naman eh, di ba? We get to sell what we make or we get to sell our products even if hindi naman tayo super focused on taking good photos. But of course, there's a reason behind why tayo as consumers naman on the other hand are so attracted to some products and we keep buying. So, ang isa sa reasons on is the photo that we see, parang it really makes us want to have that product. It makes us feel something for the product. So that's one of the things. So number one is it's always nice to learn a new skill. So I'm really happy that you guys are here this morning to learn something new or to at least become better at a skill that you already have. So yun nga, di ba, ang sabi lagi namin ni Shine is, do not stop learning. Keep on learning. Take the opportunity, I think in Fresh Start also that was said by Sherwin and Leah that, invest in yourself and learn a new skill every time that you can. So one of the important things that, one reason for taking better photos is that we will be learning something new today. Okay, so another thing, photos on your feed attract your market. So, diba tayo as sellers online, hindi naman natin nakakausap yung mga tao who are buying from us. Hindi nila nakikita yung bubbly, wonderful personality natin on our feed. But your photos can speak volumes to your market. Not just to your current clients, but to, future clients. And parang talagang advertisement natin yung photos that we post. So kailangan this is something that make sure natin that each and every photo that we post adds value to those people who see it. So your photos on your feed attract your market. So gusto natin maging attractive yung feed natin, yung photos natin, yung brand natin to those that we want to tap as our clients and customers. So with that, then it will help drive sales. So yun naman yung ending that we want, 'di ba? Parang yun na nga, we don't sell stuff just so may mabenta tayo, but of course we want to earn from it. We want to have sales. We want our side hustle to be able to help us out financially. And one of the things that can do that for us is having better photos that speak to our clients. Okay, another one is it gives your business credibility. Why? 'Di ba parang when you see professionally taken photos, parang it makes you think na, okay, this company, it really parang gives value and spends having photo shoots for their brand or for their products. Pagka nakita mo na yung mga photos are good and excellent, and you feel also that the company itself or the business itself is working with excellence in mind. So it gives more credibility to your business. Next, it boosts product appeal. So, 'di ba sometimes meron tayong mga ginagawang products or we sell products na parang pag nakita mo ng live ang ganda-ganda or ang saya-saya niya na item. But because we cannot do justice in taking photos of these products, nawawala yung appeal niya. So, when that happens, hindi natin to mabebenta, hindi tayo magkakaroon ng profit from it. So it having good photos will really help boost your product appeal. Parang giving it life and giving it kumbaga a good shot will also have a good shot at it being sold. And next, it gives more understanding of your product. So later, we will talk more about this. Now, how can a photo naman give more understanding of your products? Of course, we have our captions. Of course, we have our descriptions. But sometimes, and we know this, kahit tayo mismo on Instagram, we just scroll. Di naman natin talaga binabasa lahat ng captions. So ang chance natin talaga to attract and capture the attention of our audience is with a good photo. So we'll talk about more of these things later on. All right, so now we'll go into the basic photography tips and tricks. So sabi ko nga sa inyo, I'm sure that some of you already know itong mga principles na to and what I'm gonna talk about, but it's just nice to review them and to be reminded na, ay, oo nga, I need that pala, or ay, oo nga, I want to do that with my products and my photos. Okay. Number one, use natural lighting. So unless we would have medyo good budget for buying studio lights, our best available light will be your natural lighting, which is what? The sun. So that's why actually originally this class was supposed to be at night. But I told Shine, wait lang, I need the natural light kasi wala naman akong studio lights. So I want to show the participants how to do it and how they can use natural lighting for their shoots. Pero as it turns out, I was able to video everything and that you will see later. So anyway, natural lighting, why? Number one, it's free. It's readily available. When you look around your house, kung meron kang window, kung meron kang sliding door, kung meron kang pinto, when you open that and, tabi nyo yung curtains, then you will have natural lighting at your fingertips. Using natural light makes your photos look organic and natural. So as compared to, although studio lights are really designed to mimic natural light, pero syempre iba pa rin talaga yung shadows that natural lighting gives, iba yung lighting eh. So we'll see that later. So parang if you think about it, how do I set up my studio? So this is an example, very simple, as in isang lamesa, lifetime na lamesa or any table that you have at home. Set it beside a window. So itong setup na to is the perfect angle na nasa side yung light source. So this will just give you an idea of how you can set it up. So ito, simple yung setup niya beside the window, a small table, ang backdrop niya is cloth na ginamitan niya ng clothespin to set it up, and then have your camera or tripod there. But we'll talk about that more later. So ito yung, this is the perfect angle, hindi nakaharap sa sun, because masyadong not nakaharap sa light source because that will be too strong. It will blow out your photos. It will drown out the details of your products. So side lighting is always having the strong source of light on the side is always your best setup. Okay. Next, turn off flash of your phone. So I know sometimes, minsan nagpo-photoshoot tayo sa gabi or hapon na wala ng ilaw, wala ng natural light. So we are forced to use our flash. But for me, it's really not ideal. If you can just wait till tomorrow when the sun is up, then do your shoot at that time instead of turning on your flash. So I'll show you an example. So ito, during the day ko naman to tinake, but I used flash. So when we look at it, okay naman, di ba? Mukhang okay naman yung photo, maliwanag naman siya, um, it doesn't look bad even if I use the flash. But if you notice the harsh shadows on the sides, the colors are medyo blown out. Hindi siya yung kulay talaga that I would want. And yun na nga, ayoko yung harshness. For my taste, hindi ko gusto yung parang very hard yung look niya. And then I took the photo again without using a flash, just using the natural light from my window. And 'di ba parang it looks more soft, the colors are softer, the picture is not so hard and harsh. So ito yung nagagawa ng naka-on ang flash at naka-off ang flash. Actually ito, maliit lang yung difference because I took it during the daytime. Try doing this at night and you will really see those harsh shadows and the blown out colors of your products.
Miss El,
Yes.
can you check the slides? I think we're still seeing your slide 1 pa lang.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes.
Oh no, wait. Oh no. Hindi umaandar, ganyan.
Yeah. Ayan, I think you can press play dun sa taas or individually change the slides manually.
Yeah. Is it changing? Yeah, I'm changing it manually.
Okay, yeah, manually na lang. I think we're still on slide 1.
What about now? I'm pressing it.
Hindi pa. We're still on
Hindi pa
slide 1.
rin. Oh no. What
Kahit
is
dyan na lang,
happening?
without pressing play na lang. Ayan, now we're on slide 2.
Okay. There.
Yan,
Is
we're
that
on
better?
basic. Yes, there we are.
Okay, sorry. So you missed pala the other Okay. All right. So conflict transition. Bakit kaya ganon? Sige, let me try again, Gloriana. Ngayon, is it changing?
No, it's not presenting yet.
Oh, bakit kaya ganon? Wait, sorry guys. Automatically. What if I do this? Ito.
No, the screen is not changing.
Ay, kaya. What if I stop sharing and then, it again? Share it again. Pwede na, Glorianne?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, I'll stop sharing first. Hi, guys! Oo nga, okay. Ngayon ko lang nakikita yung comments nyo. Slides pala not changing. Okay, let me try that again. Yan, nag-change? Hindi pa din. Can you see it, guys? Is it changing?
No, it's still not changing automatically.
Oh, man. Sige, okay, let's just do it manually.
Let's just do it manually. I think they can see it naman.
Okay, kaya lang sad kasi nga ayoko makita niya yung next sana.
Maybe try if Keynote Live will work instead of Play. I'm not sure lang.
Ay, ayaw niya. and preference. Ba't kaya ganun?
Oh, okay. So I think the thing is, it's when you're playing, it's going to full screen, and that's not being captured by StreamYard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not capturing your full screen when you're playing, I think.
Hmm, 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 hmm. Okay, sige. So we'll just do this one. Kaya lang, how does it look on screen pagka ganito?
It's big enough. Yes, nakikita naman.
Okay. All right. So, okay, sorry about that, guys. So, this was the first screen. So anyway, we can review this later, and then we're going into, so kanina what I discussed was using natural lighting, and then to turn off your flash. So it's really up to you. I know some people na gusto nila yung effect nung may hard lines, harsh shadows because parang sa kanila yun yung taste nila. So okay lang naman din. But for us, I know that um, most of the products that we use, the products that we have, para mas gusto natin yung soft look. So if you turn off your flash from your camera, then you will have that look. All right, so next, do not use digital zoom. Why? Digital zoom will make your resolution smaller. It will decrease the image quality of your photo. And madali lang naman to like physically move in to your subject instead of using your digital zoom. So if we want it na hindi grainy or our photos to be sharp, avoid using the digital zoom. So anyway, since we take photos naman of smaller products, we can easily move in and manual zooming tayo because nga of course our phone cameras also have limitations. Hindi ganon kalaki yung resolution niya, so ayaw na natin bawasan pa yon. Okay, next tip, which is, this is so funny kasi it's so simple pero hindi natin siya ma-apply. We forget to apply it. Clean both your lens and your product. So, diba kasi yung phone natin, of course, we touch it, pinapatong natin kung san-san. So, oil gets there, dust gets in there. So, all we have to do before we start shooting is yung mga panglinis ng salamin. Use that, or even sometimes your shirt, use it, basta clean your lens. And also clean your product. So, diba, kasi when we take a photo, tapos may mga alikabok dyan, it's not so nice on your photo. So parang yun lang, make it a habit, make it automatic that before you shoot, clean your lens, clean your products. Okay, next. Turn off all other light sources. So for example, yung studio setup mo nasa sala or nasa dining or in your office, and then you have other light sources, which are your house lights na iba-iba yung kulay, di ba? May warm, may bright, so it really also disrupts the quality of our photo. So here, what I'm showing you two different photos. One, I left the light on. So as you can see, di ba medyo yellowish siya? Because my light here in the office is yellow light. So when I take a photo, even if nasa tabi siya ng window, it muddles the light source. So we want only one light source when we take a photo. It's either you use your yellow light or you use the window, which is your natural light. So the first photo with the bag, yellowish. Okay rin naman siya. It's warm, it's nice. It's actually a good photo. But compared with the other photo, na one light source only, iba yung brightness, iba yung crisp ng photo. So that's what we want for our photos also. So depende rin sa mood that you would want. But I suggest try turning off all other light sources para isa lang yung source ng light mo when you take your photo. Okay, next. Nasasad ako na hindi siya nag-play. Okay, but let's do with what we have. All right. Next, take multiple shots. So since you already made the effort to set up your product, to set up your DIY studio, take multiple shots, iba-ibang angles, iba-ibang, like this one. I took this photo for a food for the bacon brand. So hindi ko alam kung ang magugustuhan nila in the end, may itlog bang konti na nahuhulog, madami, or whatever. So take multiple shots since you're already there. Iba-ibang angles, take it from the back, take it from the top, take it at a, 35-degree angle, flat lay type. So lahat na gawin nyo so that at the end, madami kayong pagpipilian. And you can actually reuse those photos na ng iba-ibang araw nyo ipopost. Because iba-iba siya ng angle, iba-iba siya ng feel. When you change your angles, the lighting also changes. So parang magkakaroon ka ng madaming pwedeng pagpilian later on. Okay. Next tip, edit your photos. So again, our phones have limitations, so it needs help. Hindi lahat ng bagay makukuha natin with one click and then okay, perfect na yung shot natin. Sometimes when the light is really, really good, we get that perfect photo and no need to edit. But most of the time, pagka medyo cloudy, pagka medyo hindi maganda yung lighting natin in a room, we need help with our photos. And these are the 3 apps that I normally use. You can I think Snapseed is still free. Lightroom, meron din siyang free app, but not all of the features you will be able to use. And most importantly, use the editing built in your phone. So ako actually, the only thing that I edit is the brightness. If you follow me on Instagram and if you know the kinds of photos I take, I like what do they call it? Parang super bright. I like my photos super bright to the point na parang talagang namumuti na siya. Those are the kinds of photos that attract me, and that's the style that I want to have for my feed. So it really depends on you. How you would want your photos to be. But download an editing app. If you don't want to download, use the one on your phone because it's basically good features. You can adjust the balance, you can adjust the brightness, you can adjust mostly everything on your photo. All right, next. So the next slide, medyo feeling nyo baka masyado ng technical, but it really is not so technical. Simple lang siya, but the name kasi, use diffusers and light bounce boards. Okay, so let's discuss. What is a diffuser? So hindi ito yung hindi ito yung sa oils natin na diffuser. So diffuser, with its name, we can actually know what the use is. It diffuses light. So sometimes the light that we have, depending on the time of the day, is harsh. Alam niyo yung klaseng light na parang blown out. Pag nag-take ka ng photo, mabablow out yung photo, blurry siya because the light is so bright. So a diffuser is actually a tool that photographers use to, kumbaga, para gawing cloudy yung scene. So you diffuse the light using a parang frosted cloth. You can actually buy a diffuser, but you can also use a thin sheet of cloth na puti. You can use a frosted shower curtain. You can use baking paper, yung mga mahahaba and malalaking size. So ang idea lang when you say diffuse is to soften the light, yung hindi siya masyadong malakas at harsh. Okay? Let's move on to bounce boards. So when we have our setup, katulad yan, the picture with the cake, ang setup niya is the one that I showed you earlier. The natural light is on the side. So ang tendency mo is, of course, on the other side, dahil walang light source, magkakaroon ng shadows, mas madilim, hindi kasing liwanag nung nandun sa part na merong light source on its side. So a light bounce board will do that. It will bounce your light. So what can this be? It can be an illustration board. It can be foil. As in yung foil, yung ginagamit natin for cooking and for our kitchen foil, just put it on a hard cardboard. And ang principle lang, ang idea lang is you bounce some of the light that you're getting from your natural source back into your product. So parang iba-bounce mo yung light so that the other side of your product will also be lighted. Of course, it will not be as bright as the other side, but you're just spreading the light so that your product will be lighted parang more than not having a light bounce board on the side. But halimbawa for me, I don't use the bounce board lagi because I like that shadowy effect on the side. Pero for those of you who would want to light your product all around, then you use a bounce board. So it could be a white cardboard, a cartolina, anything that's white or that could reflect. This is called light bounce boards or reflectors to do just that, to bounce your light and to reflect your light na meron ka back into your product. Parang isa-spread out mo lang yung light. Okay? Next. Okay, so now I'll show you a sample of using a diffuser. Okay. Andito ba si Val? Val, are you here? So this is Val's product. Val sent me this wonderful candle. So, as you can see, yung studio setup ko, can you see the harsh light on the product? So that's what happens pag minsan yung time of the day, which is usually yung mataas na mataas ang araw, usually at 12, 12:30, ganyan yung sun that's entering into the window. So okay rin naman. So I used that that source of light na kahit na malakas siya, harsh siya, okay pa rin naman. The picture still turned out well, except that you can see there are harsh shadows on the side of the candle of Val. The color is medyo bright yellowish because that's the effect of pagkaganyan yung sun. But I tried using a diffuser. So ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. This diffuser that I have this pa from before kasi nafo-fold siya parang yung sa mga kotse na. So nilagay ko sa window to block out the harshness of the sun. And the photo that resulted from it is much more softer. There are, the color is not as yellow as kung walang diffuser. So it really diffuses the light source and makes your photo look softer, less lines. So let's look at it side by side. So parehong okay naman yung photos. So nasa sa inyo na lang yan, which is your style, which is more attractive to you, which is something that you would want for your products. But both can be used. I also maximize yung use of the strong sun kasi meron mga products that calls for that, yung parang medyo may dramatic effect, then that will be perfect. But if you don't like it that harsh, then a diffuser, which is a white thin cloth or an old shower curtain na frosted, that will be perfect. Or yun na nga, even baking paper can be used to diffuse light. Okay? So, yan lang naman yung medyo technical that we will be discussing today. Let's move on to photo composition. Okay, before I move on, are there any questions? Okay, so all right. Will a car shade work as a bounce board? Yes, as long as it's white. So we have to remember that when we want to bounce some light, it should be something that will reflect the light back. So if you use, let's say, black or a dark colored bounce board, it will not bounce your light. It will absorb the light that you have. It will actually make your photo look darker. So to be able to bounce light, you need something that is very light. So white is the perfect color, or something that is reflective. So a car shade that is reflective, oh yeah, alam ko yan yung nilalagay tapos para siyang foil. So that will be perfect. You can use that. But really using white, yon talaga yung magbabounce. So an illustration board will be perfect for that. So before we move on to photo composition, do you have any questions regarding what we talked about earlier. Guys, nandiyan pa ba kayo? Ang hirap pala na mag-isa nagsasalita. Say hello naman to me on the comments that you're still there, you're listening, and this is something that's you're learning something. All right, so we will be moving on. Okay, paano pag malaki yung item? All right, so later on, so kung hindi kasya yung item nyo on your, hi Bitia, thank you for saying hello. Struggle sa ibang bags. Okay, pagka malalaki. So later on, we will talk about how we can use our home in taking photos for bigger products. Okay, so no questions pa. Okay, let's move on with our photo composition. So photo composition is how you compose your photos. So when you see a flat lay, so nandyan yung product, and then lalagyan mo ng props, etc., etc. You can actually eyeball it. What looks nice to you, what looks attractive to you, then go with that. Follow your instinct. But there are some principles that you can follow that will make your image better, that can make your photo better. So the first is the rule of thirds. So ito actually is largely used when you're taking a photo of a person for a portrait photography. But you can also use this for product photography. So rule of thirds is just that. Its name says it. So in your mind, divide your phone screen. Actually, meron ng mga phones na may grids, because this rule of thirds is really something that we apply when we take photos. So kung meron yung phone yun, sa akin wala siyang grid lines that you can turn on para madali sa inyo mag rule of thirds. But if not, easy lang naman to imagine that your screen or your image is divided into three parts horizontally and 3 parts vertically. And then, kung saan nagmi-meet here, kung saan nagmi-meet yung lines, the intersecting lines, then that's where you will put your product. Why? Why the rule of thirds? The rule of thirds, meron siyang study that when you do that and put your product not in the center of your photo, it draws the eye of the audience into your product. So nagkakaroon ng more interest dun sa product instead of nasa gitna, parang kasi yun yung natural sa atin, then they just scroll past your photo. But yung rule of third, meron studies that it really draws the attention of the viewer into your product. So walang mawawala, di ba, if we try doing that. So here, I did a photo shoot for a client who sells itong mga spray bottles and dish soap bottles, and I used the rule of third. So try doing that. So rule of third, hindi naman ibig sabihin wala na kayong ilalagay na iba all around it. Rule of third, basta yung main product nyo will be on the intersecting lines, and then you can still put other elements beside or around your product. Okay? Another principle is the rule of odds. So, ang rule of odds naman is just that, having odd number of items in your photo or of your product. So, kung 1, then that's an odd number. So, for some reason, sabi nila, the image becomes more interesting and more attractive for the viewer. It's more visually appealing if it's in the, following the rule of odds, na odd number. So, 1 or 3. So, here, katulad tong photo ko with soluble. And, ano rin kasi that they have 3 variants for their scent. So, talagang 3 siya. I also applied the rule of thirds. It's not centered in the photo. So, nandun siya sa side. But still, there are other stuff at the back that adds interest and texture to the photo. So, try that. Kasi diba, really talaga, pagka in-imagine mo, ang hirap din talaga ng, halimbawa, you put 2. So, imagine itong soluble, I have 2 lang. Parang paano siya side by side? Diba? Parang mas madaling i-arrange pagka 3 or 5 or 1. Kasi diba, pagka yung 2, pag 4, paano magkakapantay ba? 4, 2, dalawa sa harap, dalawa sa likod. So, try it out. But for me, this has been working um, using the rule of odds. Okay, my next tip is something that is very important, especially for us with handmade products. Kasi when our feed and our photos should always tell a story. So hindi naman kasi tayo nag-shoot for a catalog na isang photo, white background, malinis lang, yun lang. Gusto natin na yung photo natin will evoke emotions or will give them an idea of how they can actually use the products that they will buy from you. So this one, if you remember, this is a bag that we gave away. This is from Oat Manila from Donna. And it's actually a very versatile bag. I know that some people use it as an everyday bag. Some people use it for their food as a snack bag or a lunch box. Some people use it as for their essentials with their face shields pa, nung naka-face shield pa tayo dati, alcohol, etc. But for me, as a crafter, this is my take on using this bag as a sewing bag. So when I post this photo, hindi ko lang ipopost yung product itself, yung bag. At as bahala ka na mag-imagine kung paano mo gusto gamitin. When we post a product, make sure that it will also help your clients or the buyers to know how they can use the products that you have. So ito, 'di ba, parang kahit na kung wala man siyang balak bumili ng bag, tapos nakita niya na, ay, oo nga, I sew, so I can use this as a sewing bag. So always tell a story. Always tell a story when you post a photo. Make sure na hindi lang siya, okay, kukunan ko, okay guys, ito binibenta ko. Make an appeal to the emotion, make an appeal to the brain. This is how you use this product. It would be so nice to have this product. It will make your life better when you have this product. Yun naman yung, diba, gusto natin as online sellers. So always tell a story. So another one is by using props all around your product. So ito, this was my a post, hindi naman to binibenta, but a post on Instagram that I wanted whoever will be able to see it, that this is how I do my gratitude journaling. That I have my notebook, I use pens, I use washi, I use ephemera. So parang even with just taking one look at the photo, the viewer or the person looking at it will have an idea of, okay, this is the process. This is the process of how you do gratitude journaling. So always important is tell a story, diba? Make it a photo. Ang olden words is a photo essay. If you have multiple photos that tell the story without any caption. So yun ang gusto natin, without the person or our client or whoever is looking at it, read the caption. They will already know what your product is all about, how they will be able to use your product, diba? All right. And then the next is get into the details. So this one is perfect for those of you who sew. So like Paula, wala lang akong hindi ako nakapag-picture, but when I say get into the details, so kunan niya siya from an angle nakita lahat. So ito, this set for tea time, kita lahat, but then I would also have follow-up photos of each and every item so that the buyers or the clients can see kung ano ba yan. Kasi diba parang from the first photo, hindi mo masyadong makita kung ano yung shape niya, ano yung itsura niya. But once you get into the detail, then they will see that the teaspoon has a teacup on it. That the small milk pitcher actually has a handle that you can hold on to with your thumb and your forefinger. So get into the details. So get into the fabrics, get into the texture. Go in and really zoom in on those items of your product that you want to highlight. So diba? So yun na nga. If, for example, bag, go into the workmanship that you did with the handles. Go into, if it's a party decor, go into that item that you handmade. So I think that's my next example. So this one is a party in a box. So zoom out ka, pakita mo muna lahat, and then zoom into the details that you know that your clients will love and will see really what you make. So ito, I zoomed in on the cake topper with the hindi naman hand cut, crick cut na kinat na butterfly and with all those different ribbons and laces and colors and textures. So you want to go in that so that your clients can see. Kasi tayo, nakikita natin, or kung yung person na bumili, pag na-receive na nila, makikita nila. But to make it more attractive, to let your clients understand more your products, you have to show them the different dimensions of it and the different details. So just get into the details of your products. Okay. All right. So let's move on. So we're moving on to, I know that this is something that you guys want to know about.
And we have a couple
Props.
of questions.
Yes, okay,
We have
go
a couple of
ahead. Let's do it.
questions. Yeah, so one is should the background now be minimal?
Okay. For the background, yung background, when we say backdrop, we wanted to be medyo plain. So as you saw, di ba kanina yung mga sineset up, like ako, yung sa akin is wood na plain, although merong siyang finishing na parang natural lines on the wood. But basically, you want to keep your background clean and free of clutter so that your product will be highlighted. So for example, okay. So for example, this one, the background is clean, although meron ka mga props on the side, but we want to highlight the lines of the bags. We want to highlight the things that we can put in the bag. So pagka magulo yung background natin, yung eye ng nanuno or ng tumitingin is nadidistract siya dun sa iba-ibang gamit na nandun sa likod. So another example is this one. Ito, hindi clean yung background because I actually took this sa sala. So syempre may mga gamit. But you can blur it out by using, I don't know if your phone has portrait feature. So ang gusto natin talaga is parang lumutang sa mata ng tumitingin yung product natin. So pwede naman meron dyan sa likod, but yun nga, that's actually a good question and thank you for asking that. So when we are taking photos around our house, even sa tao, halimbawa kinukuha natin yung anak natin or product natin, may electric fan sa likod. Itabi natin. Diba, let's clear out the background for any distractions na hindi naman kailangan doon sa photo. I hope I was able to answer your question. Should our background be minimal? Yes, as much as possible, because we want to highlight our product.
Yes, and I think that just goes nicely into the next question from Miss Paula. Is it okay to use real items as background instead of using photo editing apps?
Yes. That's actually, so ito rin, the picture that is on the screen now is a perfect example for Paula's question. That we can actually use our home and the different areas of our home as the backdrop. As long as yun na nga, it doesn't take away the eye from your product. Kasi pagka masyadong madaming things going on your photo, ito kasi I know what Paula means because her products are bigger and it's hard to parang just limit it into a backdrop. So when you do use a background na talagang sa bahay nyo, make sure na malinis. Halimbawa sa table, nagpo-picture kayo ng pagkain, may mga dumi-dumi, linisin natin. May mga items na hindi naman kailangan kasama sa photo, itabi natin. So, ito nga, the soluble example is you see a lot of things going on. There are throw pillows at the back, may halaman, may tray, may ano. But at the end of the day, I hope that your eyes are drawn into the product and not the background. The background actually complements it. And the story is that I use the products in my home to make my home smell good, to clean my home. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Paula. And Paula, if you recognize this is also the background where I took a photo of your bag. Because nga, yung story naman is that Paula's bag is our essential bag. It's our everyday bag. Na, di ba, papatong mo siya. Pag uwi mo, papatong mo sa sala set mo or sa sala area, living area, so that diba, it evokes a story that makes you feel more for the product than just having it on a table and taking a photo of it in a flat angle. Okay, thanks, Gloria Ann. Are there more questions na hindi ko nakikita?
None yet. I think we're good for now.
All right, so let's move on to props. Okay, so I know that some of you are wondering, ano ba, bibili ba ako ng maraming props? Gano'ng karami ba ang props na kailangan ko? Etc. etc. So, my first tip, go around your house and collect things that you can use. And you have a lot. Believe me, especially crafters tayo, grabe. Ang daming props na galing kay Shine that we've been buying all throughout this year. So, you can use potted plants, real or fake. That's fine. Ako kasi hindi ako plantita. That's why my plants and flowers around the house are either plastic or dried. Kasi hindi ko kayang mangbuhay ng halaman. So, tinanggap ko na yon. And, you know, it's actually nice, especially now that there are a lot of real-looking plants na plastic or fake. And I use those. If you see my photos, yun ang ginagamit ko. I use those fake plants. But if you guys are good at taking care of plants, those are very, very nice props to use as part of your photo shoot. Another one are fabrics. Okay, so yan, mga nananahe si Paula, I know madami kang fabrics. But for those who don't, if you have tea towels and kitchen towels na cute and pretty with lace details, with nice prints, keep that in mind. You can use that for your photos. Placemats. So ngayon, di ba, uso yung mga natural fibered placemats. So those are really, really also nice to add texture to your photo and to add dimension to it, that it's not going to be so flat and so boring. Another, you can use teacups, plates, bowls with interesting designs, with interesting lines, and use that as props. Baskets, big, small, different colored baskets. Perfect din yan to make your photo look warm and, you know, homey. That's a perfect thing. Another is that fabric softens the look of your photo. So halimbawa, later on, I think I have an example of that it not only adds texture and dimension, but it softens the look of your photo, especially if you medyo crumple up your fabric or your tea towel. It really gives it a different feel. So another one are vases, chopping boards. Just go tin cans. If you have cute, nice tin cans from products that you bought or from teas that you have na ubos na, keep that. So medyo magiging semi-basurera tayo pagka gusto natin ng madaming props. But you know, sometimes it really just adds so much character if we have those props on hand. Okay, so that's my number one prop tip. Go around your house, collect the things that you can use. Di mo naman kailangan i-collect. Huwag mo naman ilagay lahat in one place. Basta know what you have. Alam mo, sa cabinet mo, meron kang tea towels na floral na cute that you can use for this product. Meron kang placemat that you can use for this and that. Alright? Next, keep it simple. So sometimes, sa dami ng props na meron tayo at gusto natin gamitin lahat, na-over tayo sa dami ng props, which is not good because it makes our photo look cluttered. It draws the attention away from the product that we actually want to advertise or want to sell. Parang napupunta na lang yung attention nila dun sa ibang mga items on your or magulo lang siya all together that they just skip the photo. 'Di ba? Parang kailangan kasi meron isang item talaga that draws your eye into that photo and then with a nice little subtle details all around. But again, iba-iba ang style ng tao. Ako minsan talagang na-over ako sa dami ng props, especially if I want the colors to pop. So ang dami kong nilalagay. Sometimes it does work. So talagang it's something that you build on. The style that you have is something that you build. Your branding is something that you build using the photos that you have. Kasi makikilala ang brand mo through the photos and colors and style that you post on your online shops or your online platforms. So, if
Question
medyo
from Ms.
naguguluhan,
Paula.
yes.
Do the backgrounds that need to be in a color scheme?
Okay. So this one is actually another tip that I will be giving you later on. But take this down already. When yung feed natin sa Instagram, so let's stick to Instagram. Let's try to keep it consistent with our brand colors. So, for example, I don't know if Catherine is here, but Happy Station is really bright colors, reds, orange, yellows. Yun yung pagka sinabi mong Happy Station, yun yung may isip mo kagad because it's what they use on their photos. But for example, for me, if you go through my feed, it's very subtle. My logo is, the color is very um, parang sea foam green na may pagka-teal. So I try to put those colors into every photo. Kasi parang we want to have that consistent look on our feed. Hi Catherine! Okay, Catherine is there. So I was making your Instagram feed an example that Happy Station is bright and happy. The colors are like that. Ako naman, on the other hand, I'm more subtle, very um, ano yan, pastel. Yun ang color. So it's really the style and the character of your brand that will dictate anong kulay ba dapat yung meron tayo sa background natin. But of course, the safest Paula is using neutral colors, which is white as a background. But if you really want to get in there and make your brand known as ito yung kulay ko, then you can use those colors abundantly on your photos. So, talagang kailangan in your feed, make it consistent with the branding of your colors, with the type of photos that you have, because that's what we want, consistency, so that people will know, kahit hindi nila tingnan yung pangalan, ay, okay, sa ano to, Stitches and Needles ito, ay, ito Oat Manila tong photo na to, ay, ito alam ko product to ng, ng Happy Station. We get to build who we are without really people knowing na tayo yung nag-take nun, but because of the look that we have of our photo, the colors that we use, alam na nila, ay, ito a Sweet Cottage to. So, di ba, yun yung eventually, that's where we want to get to. Okay, I hope I was able to answer your question, Paula. Background colors, yun na nga, neutral will always be the best. But if you want to go in there and put in your brand colors, go ahead. Okay yon. Okay, so going back, keep it simple. But sometimes we go overboard. Why not? Ang saya din kasi, and if it will, we know it will speak to our audience, then go ahead and do that. Pwede rin naman natin dagdag pa. So another example of using very simple props is ito. I packaged this for Shine. I know that itong mga items ito are for men, so hindi siya pwedeng masyadong frilly-frilly, cutie-cutie. But when I took a photo, I used the harsh sunlight onto the package because it matches what I wanted to convey with this photo. And I just used the roll of twine that wala nang iba pang masyadong items. But when you look at it, you get the idea that it's a post about packaging, highlighting the bound paper. Actually, after nito, I took mga close-up photos of the tags, of the stamps that I used. So, try to keep it simple. So, depende sa mood mo. So, meron ka mga days na gusto mo simple lang, pero meron mga days na talaga naman all out ka, ganyan. But, yun na nga, try to keep it clean, try to keep it simple, but put your personality and character into it. All right. Another tip is keep it relevant. So when we use props, hindi yung lahat ng makikita natin, and sometimes it's really so tempting, na lahat ng makita natin, na nasa office natin, o nasa bahay natin, sama natin, lagay natin dyan. But ang rule natin, at least somehow, is that it's relevant to your product. So for this one, I took product shots for Take Root energy bars. So because it's about health and it's about boosting your energy during the low energy parts of your day or after a workout. So ang sinama ko are workout equipment. So dumbbells, I don't know what that's called sa daughter ko. And hindi sa akin niya, wag tayong magkakamali na nag-exercise ako dahil hindi. Sa anak ko yan lahat. So, but the point is keep it relevant. Na whatever your product is, yung mga gagamitin nyo na props are all relevant to your product. Diba? Hindi yung, halimbawa ito, ang tinitake ko is energy bar. Pero ang mga kasama naman, ball pen, plant, o pwede rin take root kasi plant, pwede. Pero, keep it relevant. I'm sure you know and you get what I mean. So another example is this. This is a product shot for the cocoa powder from farm to fork. So, syempre, I wanted to convey that you can use this for baking. So then I used eggs and a rolling pin. And yun, yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, to add parang a homey feel to it kasi you bake in the home, right? I added a placemat with details of parang lace. So it softens up the picture because parang lahat nung meron ako, even yung dalagyan ko na eggs, ceramic na matigas, ganun. So to soften up the picture a bit, then I added that cloth. Okay, next principle or next tip. Use props to add texture and interest. So I guess this is what we've been talking about the whole time about props. That props really is something that you use to make your picture more interesting, to make your photo more interesting. So here I added a cutting board para hindi siya flat na flat, and it adds a different color and height to the photo. And then I also used again, so makikita niya yung mga props ko pa ulit-ulit kasi diba that's what we have so make use of what you already have. And then I love this kasi napaka-versatile nitong, I think I got this from Daiso, this placemat or cloth na meron siyang lace sa gilid. Ang dami mong pwedeng gawin sa kanya. So yung mga ganon, when you're out, keep an eye out for items that would add interest to your photos. Kung hindi naman mahal, buy it and use it as props for your photo shoots. Pero yun na nga, again, go around your house. I'm sure ang dami-dami dyan. All right, I'll show you more examples. So this one, so I took a photo of, these are pottery made by my friend, na parang Japanese sausawan bowl. So with this one, because hindi ko naman kailangan na soft yung light, I used the harsh light to highlight the texture of the bowl. I used my placemat na ginagamit namin araw-araw, borrowed one and used it as the parang placemat niya so that it will add texture to my photo. So hindi lang yung wood ko na okay rin naman, but this one just adds interest. The shadows that it produced adds different highlights on the photo. And then, with this one naman, yung kanina, yung go into the details, ito rin yung picture na yon. But this one, I want you to notice a doily. So I used a paper doily that I think came from one of Shine's kits. So I kept some of it in different sizes and I put it near my DIY studio. And I constantly use that when I take photos of my journaling or of my, ganito. Kasi nga, dainty, tea time, doily, diba? All right. Next, okay, ito nga sana kung kiniklik natin, hindi nyo makikita kaagad. But anyway, okay na din. All right. Props can evoke emotion. So, for example, itong notebook na to by Oat Manila, it's beautiful because of the color, because of the shape. On its own, kung picturean ko siya ng ganito, na wala siyang props, walang anything, it will still look good. But, moving up a bit, leveling up a bit with a few props that I have on hand, nilagyan ko ng tea towel na floral, matching the color of the notebook. And then, naglagay ako sa vase ng mga dried flowers and just took a photo from the top. Diba? Parang, I hope it's the same for you na it evokes a different feel. From the first photo, it tells me what the product is and, it's a nice product, it's a good quality product. But the second photo evokes the feeling of, oh my gosh, I want to have this notebook, bring it with me when I travel, bring it with me to a cottage somewhere and write down my journaling and thoughts on this notebook. So we want our products to evoke a story in the minds of those who see it, to evoke emotions na, oh, I want that. I mean, that's perfect for what I need. So that's what photos can do. That's what props can do. Na, diba? Pwedeng plain, it's still a good photo and it still does justice to the product, but adding some little props changes the whole feeling when we look at the photo. Guys, okay ba? Are you there? You're still good? Sige. We're moving on from props to pahabol tips. Okay? So ito kasi hindi ko na siya ma-place na hindi naman siya basic photography tip, hindi rin naman siya about props, hindi rin siya about photo composition, but I wanted to share with you some more tips na I hope will be useful for you. Okay? Number one, bring your products with you kung magaang at maliit ha. Kung ang product nyo ay Cricut machine, hindi natin to madadala with us every time we go out. But for example, if it's a bag, if it's a journal, if it's a little item that you can put in your bag and bring with you wherever you go, you will have an amazing photo shoot with a different background. So for example, ito, for my client, Hygiene Pro, totoo naman, dala-dala ko naman talaga si Hygiene Pro in my bag all the time. So when I went to the beach, kasama ko siya, pinicturean ko, then it was a good content for at least a few days na photo shoot ko when I was out of town. Another one is Farm to Folk. Again, dala-dala ko rin naman si Coco Aminos because nga I'm bawal with Kiko Man. So lagi kong dala-dala to whenever we go overnight somewhere, especially if we're gonna cook. So I took the opportunity and took some photos of the products as well. Kasi this is also part of my client's items. Dala-dala ko rin si Soluble. Although hindi naman ako naglinis dun sa Airbnb, pero I just took the chance to have a photo shoot with the products that I have. Okay? So bring it with you. Kung kasya sa bag nyo or kung yung bag mismo parang kay Paula, then go ahead and bring it with you and use the whole wide world as your backdrop for your products. Okay? Next tip, use your whole house as a studio. So do not be limited. So this was a question kanina ni Paula rin, and ito rin bag ni Paula. Do not be limited to your DIY studio because you can use the different areas and parts of your home to be able to take different shots of your product. So halimbawa ito, this bag, sa living room ko siya tinake. Wala masyadong natural light, but the light na meron ako sa living room is good. So you can use your dining area, your TV area, bedroom. So yan. Speaking of bedroom, I wanted to post on the social media of Soluble about how much clothes you can wash with a single pod. So doon ako sa bedroom namin, ginamit ko yung kama and mga damit and then Soluble. And then the caption was, this is how much laundry you can put into your washer using one pod of Soluble. Okay. This one is sa dining area namin. So again, another Take Root product that I had to shoot. Pero you can see the difference of using natural light against hindi natural light. So ito are the lights in my dining area, which are a bit yellowish because it's warm light. Against itong isa, si Soluble, I took a photo of it by my washing machine na natural light. So I hope na these things magiging automatic na sa inyo na, okay, pagka ganito yung light, ganito yung magiging itsura ng photo. So that's what I want you to have with you. Okay, so all right. So before I want to just have a quick demo of Flatlay because I know that most of our products, cards, journaling stuff, ephemeras, pens, calls for Flatlay. So I want to share with you the process of how I do a Flatlay photo. Okay. Yeah. So that's my this one naka-diffuser ako because at this time that I was doing this harsh yung light. So I added a diffuser on my window. Used a chopping board to have a different color on the background. Then my favorite fabric with lace details. So ito, ang fini-feature is the card. So it's handmade card. For those of you who got this kit from Shine, it's one of the sub-kits. So I used that to make this card. And then I added some dried flowers because the card is a flower card. And then to seal and close our envelopes, we use washi tape. So I added the washi tape there, put it in a teacup. So meron akong isang permanent teacup dito, hindi ko na kinukuha sa labas, to use as my props when I take photos. All right, so then from that, this is the photo that came out. So I just wanted to show you the process of how you can pile up and put together your props to come up with a photo that you can post. So I'll show you another one. So this one naman are the fabrics that I got from Shine. Ayan, so did you see that move? Tinanggal ko kasi parang may mga dumi-dumi dun sa ano. So clean your products before shooting them. So make sure that ano. So yun na nga, when you use your when you do your shoot, try to put your phone na on a tripod. Tapos para you can move freely and you can see on the screen kung ano na nagiging itsura nung composition nyo. So this one, I was using a tripod to video this and also to take the photo. So ito, relevant. So yung kanina pinag-uusapan natin, because it's fabric, then relevant ang laces, ang ribbons, yung flower, pang pa-cute lang. Yung camera, because of the color, I wanted to put in still my signature teal color into the photo. And then yung vintage thread holders that I got a few years ago. And then this is the photo that I can post from that process that I showed you. All right. Okay, so now I'll show you how my DIY studio looks like here at home. So excuse the kalat. Ano to? Pakatotoo ka video. Ganito talaga siya. All right. So I placed my backdrop beside a sliding door that I don't use anyway. So permanently closed naman siya. I use a tripod. So ito yung tripod na nabudol si Shine. But I think I skipped the slide with the tripod. So I'll go back to that after this video. So here I try to put everything that I need in one place para hindi ako sabog-sabog, like my clients' products are there. So there, that's my diffuser. So hindi yan permanently nandyan pagka lang harsh yung lights. So because I take photos of soluble 3 or 4 times a week, then it's already there. Then I have cake stands. I have dried flowers, baskets that you can use. That one is actually a foot rug, but the texture and the color is nice. So I also use that as a background sometimes. Fabrics, and then that's it. Okay? All right. So I think may na-skip tayo the tripods kasi nga nung nagkakagulo kanina sa ayaw gumalaw. But let
We
me
have a
just go back
question
to that.
also.
All right.
Other than flowers or plants, are there other props that can be used na, I'm sorry, I'm bad at reading Tagalog, na di masyadong relevant sa focus
item.
item.
Okay. So Mitch, katulad nung pinakita ko kanina na photo of the fabrics, pero may kasama doon na parang wooden camera na parang, di ba, wala naman siya talagang kinalaman. But if you feel, follow your instincts. If you feel that it will make your photo more of your brand and more of your signature, go ahead and put it in. What are the other items? I usually use markers, pens, teacups, because that's what I want my brand to exude. It's about the heart and the home. So talagang you really have to go into your products and your brand and think na ano ba yung gusto kong feelings na na-exude every time my clients or somebody, sees my photos online. How would they feel and what what would the feelings na ma-evoke sa kanila. So other than flowers and plants, so yun nga, even rugs, different textured fabrics, baskets, boxes, wooden boxes. So these are things that you want to have on hand to help you do your photo shoot. So Mitch, I hope I was able to answer your question. Okay. So I'll go back to the tripod na na-skip nga. All right. Use a tripod. Why? When you use a tripod, it allows so lalo yung DSLR cameras, they're heavy. So medyo mas stable. But with our phones, because it's very light and, you know, hindi natural yung kamay natin in holding it as a camera, may shake. So makikita nyo yun in your photos minsan na parang, bakit ganun? But blurred. Pag tinignan mo dun sa screen, kasi maliit, hindi masyado, but when you put it on your computer and zoom in on it, medyo blurred. So to avoid that, to have a crisp image every time, try to use a tripod. It will also help you keep your angle consistent. So so like for this one, I used a tripod here because I knew that I was going to take multiple shots of this. Habang ang itlog ay lumalabas, I had to click. And if kamay ko lang yung gamit ko, una-una mag-iiba yung angles niya. Plus, mahihirapan ako to click it. But if naka-ano na siya sa tripod, then it will be easier for you as the action is going on in your in what you want to take a photo of. Plus, yun na nga, it will give you a consistent angle. Kung halimbawa, inaayos nyo pa yung props, it will give you that same, let's say, flat lay look all throughout, and then you can choose later on. Okay? So going back, so these are 3 of the tripods that I've actually used. All of these are available on Shopee. I actually got the photos from Shopee so that if wala pa kayong tripod and you're planning to buy one, let me give you a review on each of these kasi ito lahat nagamit ko na. So the first one that I bought, kasi syempre, nagtitipid ang lola mo, it's about 200 pesos. But you clamp it on your table. Okay naman siya. The length of the arm is good enough that you can do videos or flat lays with it. Ang naging problema ko lang sa kanya, yung lalagyan niya ng camera, ng phone, parang sobrang tight. So nagkagas-gas-gas yung phone ko because of putting it in and taking it out. But it was still okay. I used it for almost half a year. But the problem was, after a few months, yung springs niya naging loose na. So instead of it being naka-like that, bumababa siya mag-isa with the weight of the phone. So that's why I had to buy another one. So ito naman yung nasa gitna with a ring light. I also bought that pero hindi tabletop. From the floor, up mo siya, tapos magaganon mo yung light and put your phone in the middle. Okay rin siya. This costs about 500 to 700 pesos on Shopee. Ang naging problema ko lang, because mine nga was not a tabletop, it was a standing one. Sobra niyang flimsy. Ilang beses siyang muntik mabagsak. Actually, nabagsak na nga siya. And the legs kasi are yung pang tripod talaga. So nakaharang siya dito sa area of where I work. So parang nahassle ako sa kanya na I have to move it away, I have to fold it up and pack it away kasi nga masyado siyang delicate, especially with the halo light. Kaya I ended up with the multi-function live stream holder, which was, ito nga yung sinasabi ko kanina, nabudol si Shine, parang nabili niya sa Amazon for, basta super expensive. I cannot remember how much. Parang $200. But you can buy this on Shopee for less than 2,000, parang 1,800. So far, this is what I'm using. If you saw on my video, this is what I use on my, on my DIY studio because pwede siyang patayo, pwede siyang pang flat lay, pwede siya pang video. Plus, when you pack it up, it's very compact. Ano lang siya, super small lang siya na item. So those are the tripods. So sorry, kasi nga parang na-skip natin to kanina. Alright, so going back, okay, so that is my studio setup, which yun na nga, yung kaninang pinakita ko sa inyong photo, the very simple one. Ito kasi kaya ako merong um, wood. I was using this before for shooting bags. I used to make and sell leather bags. So ito yung kaya ko yan pinagawa. Pero eventually naging useful. So, but you can do with white cloth. You can make use of cartolina, larger pieces of paper, tape it on your wall and your table, and you're good to go. Okay, so before we end, all right, so I'm opening the floor now for, uy, wow, so one for 990 sale. Which one? O yan, guys, meron. Okay, Shine, for 220, my goodness. Okay, I'm opening the floor now for any questions. Okay, but wait, before I end so that we can close up na my presentation, this is my take on, you know, us taking photos and us branding ourselves using our photos. The best style is your own. Even though we see a lot of Instagram posts or photos that we like or we try to copy, the best is still your own look. Develop your signature look. It can be using your brand colors. It can be using a type of angle when you take your photos. It can be, anything that will make it your own. So yun talaga ang the best style. It's not my style. It's not Shine style. It's not the style of people we follow on Instagram. But ang advice ko sa inyo is develop your own signature look, and you will be able to do this as you take more photos, as you get to know yourself better, as you get to know your brand better, as you get to develop your brand to where you want it to be, you'll be able to develop that look also. All right, so that's the end of our presentation, but I want to open the floor now for any comments, questions, suggestions. Shine, are you back? Is Shine there na? Wala pa yata si Shine. She's doing something. So guys, okay, how do you apply rule of thirds if the focus of the photo is yung handwritten note? Do we consider the positioning of the writing or the notebook? Okay, so if you want to focus on the note itself, of course you have to go zoom in para makita yung note. And yes, you can apply the rule of thirds there, putting it in an off-center way, but being able to fill up the rest of your frame with the journal or with materials that you use for handwriting. Tell a story. This is actually a perfect photo to be able to tell a story. Yung handwritten note. So yes, Mitch, you can use the rule of thirds by putting the note off center, pwedeng nandito sa baba, nasa taas, kung saan nyo gustong maglagay ng other props. But then again, yun nga guys, in some situations, the rule of thirds is not applicable. So do not be conformed to, okay, lahat ng photos ko kailangan naka-rule of thirds. Hindi naman kailangan gano'n. Okay, Sel, what if aprons? Kasi pag full, hindi nakita yung details. Is it better to do collage na lang, not put the whole item as a photo? Okay, for an apron, especially pag buo, hindi lang siya yung waist apron, you can take a photo of the full apron. Ang suggestion ko is lay it down on the bed with a sheet na medyo subtle, because you need that. You need the full, for the client to see the full look of your apron. Pwede rin naman yung nakahang, pero kasi di ba parang ako kasi hindi ko gusto yung nakahang sa door, kita pa yung doorknob. If you have a wall that you can use, or a clothes, those portable clothes hangers na parang ginagamit natin pag nagsasampay, put that against a plain background or a wall with bricks, basta medyo plain, and then take a photo of your apron there. But, so don't use a collage. Yung collage ba, meaning yung madaming pictures na maliliit all together in one photo, please try avoid using that because it makes your photo super small. So ang Instagram naman ngayon has that carousel feature where you can post multiple photos na buo as long as they swipe on it. So use that instead of a collage because it will make the photos unclear and small. Yes, please do go into the details of your apron, the ribbon at the back, the pocket, the design. If you have an applique there, take a zoom in photo of that and put it in your carousel together with the whole ano whole photo of your apron. Okay. Next question. For lights po, are there specific lights for a certain product? Um, if you're going to use studio lights, yes, there are different kinds of lights that you can choose from. But if you are going for the natural light, wala namang specific. So dito papasok actually yung editing nyo. So if editing meaning on your phone ha, yung brightness and ano. Okay, let's give an example. For example, ako for the party in a box. Kailangan yung light ko parate bright kasi 'di ba what I want to convey for my product na party in a box is happy, bright, cheerful, celebration. So my light, I would want my light to always be the brightest that I can without blowing up the colors of the items. But if I will be taking a photo of a journal, for example, yung kaninang example natin with Donna's pink journal, yun medyo subtle yung light, may shadows kasi parang it really depends on what you want to convey with your photo. So, wala namang specific light kasi especially if we're using natural light, isa lang klase yung light. It's either cloudy or bright, diffused or strong. So, it's really up to us what we want for our products to, ano ba yung effect that we want. Do we want it soft and subtle? Do we want it strong? And so it really depends on you and your product that you are making and selling. Okay. May number of props ba kayo na marirecommend to convey a story? Actually, wala. Yun na nga. Kaya sometimes we go overboard. Yung minsan pagka na-excite tayo na parang, ay gusto ko isama lahat ng pinadala ni Shine dun sa photo ko. Minsan na-over tayo. But, wala naman, but again, let's go back to yung tip kanina. Let's keep it simple and relevant. Yun yung gusto natin na nasa photo natin. That everything that is in there is somehow relevant to the story that we want to tell. And it's simple enough that the attention is on the product itself and not on the many, many props around our product. Okay, is it necessary to put borders sa photo? Okay, please, I don't understand. What do you mean? When you print it out? When you take it? When you take the photo, do you put borders? Please elaborate. I want to also be able to answer that. Necessary ang borders. No, if you want to fill up your full frame, go ahead and do that. If you want to have a space, yun nga yung rule of thirds, a space na wala namang laman so that the full attention is drawn into your photo, then go ahead. Okay. When editing and posting sa Instagram. Okay. So yung app to put the borders, not really because it will make your photo pa look smaller. You want to maximize, kasi nga si Instagram maliit. You want to maximize the full frame that you have. So fill it up with your photo. Wag ka nang mag-border. But if that is the look that you're going for example, nasimulan mo na, nasa feed mo, ganon, merong border lahat, then, you can also do that. Again, your style is the best. Whatever it is, these tips that I gave you are things that can help you better your photo taking, but it is not to confine you to just doing this or this kind of photography or with this kind of backdrop. I want you to use these principles and tips, but still developing your own style along the way. Okay? So for the next few days, for the next 10 days, as Shine and I said this morning, when we started, it will be there for 10 more days. If you have any more questions, please put it on there and I will try to answer everything. Um, and if you would be able to put a sample of a photo that you are going to take, being able to use the tips that we discussed today, we will have a raffle for those who will be joining. And then when you put your photo, please specify what tips were you able to apply in taking that photo. Para alam namin na, okay, may learning naman. So, thank you, ladies, for are there any more questions? If there are, okay, do you give in sa emotions when taking photos or stick as branding? Pwede naman. Ayun na nga eh, parang sometimes hindi natin yan lahat magagawa na, okay, I have to stick to my colors and I have to stick to ano. If there is a photo that you want to post but it's not your colors and it's not your, no, okay lang naman din yun. But kung gusto mo na yung feed mo is very consistent, if you are venturing into products that are from pastels, you're going on to brights, then go ahead and put them on there also. But of course, yun na nga, there's no hard and fast rule for all of this, especially with our social media platform now na parang things change and change and change and our viewers also iba-iba rin naman. So just ang isa sa when taking photos, go with your instinct. Whatever looks beautiful to you, go ahead and do that. Kasi kung ano yung nafe-feel mo, it will show in your photo and yun yung gusto natin. Yun yung gusto natin magkaroon. Yung feed natin is okay lang na madaming questions, more pa. Questions pa more. But yun na nga, pinag-usapan namin ni Shine, we want to keep this really to because it's lunchtime and I know some of you will be preparing lunch pa for your family. But with that, I will see you guys on our classroom, on our virtual classroom. Let's continue our discussions there. If you have may maisip kayo bigla na questions, just type it there and Shine and I will get to it. I really, really hope, guys, that you were able to learn something today, something new or a review of what you already know. Ayan na, si Shine just finished briefing the kids. All right. So, but I really do hope that it was a well Saturday morning spent with TCM and a sweet cottage. Oh, thanks, Mitch. Thanks, and I love it that all of you are here this morning, this Saturday morning. And yun na nga, my last with you is develop your own style. Develop an eye that is truly yours, because that will set you apart. It's not, having consistently beautiful photos, but it's not you. Develop your own. And yan pinakamaganda talaga. And that's the best style. Thanks, Tess. Thanks, Tala. Happy birthday again. And see you guys in the classroom. Please do take care. Everybody is now going out again. Always pa din, wear your face masks, social distancing, but do enjoy our newfound freedom with caution. And thank you again for spending your Saturday morning with me and Shine and Glory Ann. Thank you, Glory Ann. Hello ka naman. Glory Ann for being there to assist kasi nga alam nila na hindi talaga ako, I cannot with technology. It's hard. All right. So thanks, guys. I will not keep you any longer. Hi, Glory Ann. Say hello naman.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being with me this morning. And thanks, everybody. Goodbye and see you again soon. Please, kita-kita tayo in the classroom.